All right, Paige, thanks a lot. He's the Senate Majority Leader and a Republican from Ohio County in the Northern Panhandle. He's also been pretty outspoken lately about the governor's plans and proposals. Joining us live in studio tonight is Senator Ryan Ferns. Senator Ferns, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
As I mentioned there, you've been pretty critical lately of the governor, especially on Twitter. Let's take a look at some of the tweets that you put out there. Let's take a look at this first one, which is about a week ago. So you said here, a word of advice to West Virginia governor when meeting with GOP senators: use rocket ships, rainbows, or unicorns, and the conversation is over. Facts only. The next one here is this guy is telling everyone in West Virginia they need to pay more taxes. Watch as he vetoes this year, and you could bet he will protect his bank account. And this is about his companies owing more than $4 million in state taxes. And then this last one here shows us at West Virginia governor has been dodging the tough questions for over 18 months, and that's in response to public news saying, I'll answer your questions on any day on anything, but not today. So what seems to be your biggest beef with the governor right now?
Well, I think the biggest beef for me is that when the governor was campaigning to run for office, and even after he got elected, he told the people of West Virginia, you all can't bear the burden of any more taxes. And quite frankly, I agree. I mean, the citizens of West Virginia have been overtaxed for a number of years. And even leading up to the week before the State of the State address, his staff told the people of West Virginia that they were going to propose cuts to the budget. They were going to show fiscal restraint. And then, of course, we got to the night of the State of the State address, and we saw a very different picture. We saw a $450 million tax increase, the largest tax increase in the state of West Virginia history.
He's also said that he didn't want to do this, but this might be just the only plan that he has. But with your level of criticism, is that seem to be the feeling, or among the GOP here in the state? Is that like the widespread feeling towards the governor? Well,
that's the frustration that I hear from the people in the Northern Panhandle. You know, I mean, the people of West Virginia, particularly the Northern Panhandle, but all over the state really, have been voting with the intent of changing the direction of West Virginia, taking West Virginia in a new direction. And Governor Justice campaigned on that idea. But I don't think what he's proposed is anything different than what we've seen in the past. It's really just more of the same and maintaining the status quo.
Well, you obviously don't agree with what the governor's proposal is with the budget, but we haven't really seen a plan from Republicans other than you guys are, and what I mean by you guys is the senators and the GOP and the governor are far apart on the ideas. So how soon can we expect to see a plan?
Well, the Constitution in West Virginia requires that the governor propose a budget during the State of the State, the start of the session. And the reason for that is because most of the changes that would occur to funding would occur to agencies under the executive branch, under the governor's office. And so it makes sense for him to take the lead if there's any proposed changes. He's obviously indicated that the tax increases are the path that he desires to take. And so now it's on the legislature to look through each of these agencies. It's much more difficult from where we're sitting to pull this off, but in a lack of leadership from the governor, it's what we're going to have to do. That being said, we feel like we owe it to the agencies to give them the opportunity to come back to us and say, if we propose changes to funding or whatever else it may be, let us know how that's going to impact their agency so that we can have an informed response.
Okay, Senator Ryan Ferns, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.